Okay, hey everybody, here's a short video on primarily for teachers. This is for teachers. If you're trying to set up breakout rooms, the workaround that you can use in Microsoft Teams by creating channels, there's issues with students not being able to start the meeting themselves once they go into that channel, whether they're private or public. It seems to be an issue. So firstly, actually I got this page pulled up on the internet right now. This is the actual virtual breakout rooms that Microsoft is working on that's in development, as you can see. So that's really the only real solution. We just have an annoying workaround at this point to try and make it work. But hopefully that's available in September because they said early fourth quarter. Okay, so this is what we want to do. I made a new class, and you know what? I'm just gonna create another one real quick. New team, whatever. Another class. Next. I'm not going to add anybody to it. So we're just going to say, in order to do this workaround, we need to create other channels over here. That'll be our breakout rooms or groups. So if I go here to add channel, I could call this one group 1. I can make it public or private. So private, you have to add the students by name to the private channel, and they already need to be in your team in order to add them to that private channel, and that way only they can join or go to that channel's posts or meeting. And then standard is the available to everybody on the team. So I'm going to use a public one here. If it's a private channel, it's going to show you a padlock there, so that's how you can know. And if you want to change a channel from being private to public, you can't. You have to delete it. So, yeah, decide beforehand. I'm going to add another one. So you could have different groups, group 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Or I could have, what I've actually started to do was to make a group that's just general discussion that students can join publicly, and then kind of make different channels for different not topics, different kind of tasks or activities that we do. So I could add a channel that's going to be the practice problems channel. So if students feel like working on their practice problems on Tuesday, then when we break out from our main discussion, the people who want to work on practice problems could go to that channel. And then maybe I have one for labs. So for students to work on the lab reports, if that's something they want to work on. So there are different ways of doing it, obviously, but the issue is once we leave the general channel space and go to, say, group 1, and you say, you know, so-and-so students go join group 1 breakout room, the issue they're having is when they click the meet button, they can't start the meeting. So that's no good. So here's the first annoying workaround is to start the meeting yourself. So we'll start a meeting in the general channel just like we had started class. I would normally launch it from the calendar, so I would have a name here for whatever class I'm doing. But let's start a general channel meeting. And then once we're connected, we'll go into group 1, and we'll start that meeting, which will put us on hold in our other meeting that we're starting. Okay, so here's our general channel meeting for this particular class, another class. And now we go back over to the meeting is going on. Okay. Now, so once the meeting is started, students can use this button that should let them join. So if I go to group 1 and start a meeting by clicking the meet button, what we should see in the stream for group 1 in the chat area down here, we should see that button. So students could join it that way once you start it. So you just have to wait for at least one of them to come in, and then they can invite other people. But this would take a long time if you have a bunch of groups you want to make and have students come to. So here's our meeting in group 1 that we're going to be in, and then we're going to be on hold in our general channel meeting. So this was the general channel meeting. Now I'm on hold in that. I can resume it. I can still view the chat, but now my camera and mic are available only to talk to people in group 1. So now that I've started the meeting in group 1, if you go and look at the group 1 channel, there is this join button. That should let students join, but you have to be the one to start the meeting. You could also start it and then In the participants tab, you can start typing a student's name and they'll pop up and you can invite them to the call. So then they'll see that notification. They could join the meeting in this group one, and then they could invite the other students if there are certain students they want to invite to that channel. But that's all really not that helpful. Like, that's too much to do. That's too much. So we're going to leave these meetings. And what we're going to do as the other less annoying workaround is to post a unique link into this chat that is dedicated to group one. So in the post section of group one, we're going to post a direct unique link to basically do the same thing as this button, which is disabled for some reason. So this is what we have to do. This is the way I recommend doing it. We're going to go to our Office thing online. So you can search Office 365 or Office 365 login, whatever. I'm going to close these tabs because I had already had them open. And then the first result should be sign into Office 365, right? And there we put in our username, password, and we see all the applications in the Microsoft suite that we can use. And we're going to click on Outlook. Believe it or not, Outlook. Okay, we'll open Outlook in a new tab. And then we are going to go down to the calendar, which is down here. I think we can also get to the calendar directly from this page with all the apps. So let's just check because I don't even know. Yeah, so you could click Show All Apps and just click on Calendar directly. Or when you open Outlook, down at the bottom left, there will be the calendar icon. So since I can get to it here, I'm just going to click on Calendar because that's what we want to get to, the Outlook calendar. Look, it's just loading. Oh, okay. Yeah, calendar. So this one's loading Outlook Mail. This one's loading the calendar directly. So we don't need to load all the mail. What we're going to do to create our unique link is we're going to go to, it doesn't matter what day. So this is tomorrow, because today is the 17th. So here's Tuesday the 18th. Those are my classes that are always scheduled in Microsoft Teams. I'm going to go to a time of day that I'm not going to have anything going on in. So I'm going to actually scroll up to like 1 a.m. Okay, and we're going to create a new event. All I should have to do is just kind of click once in there and I get this little pop-up. So how you title the event is up to you, but I title the event the name of the group. So what's the name of our group that we're going to make it for? Group 1. Okay. So we go back. We're going to title our new event, which is actually going to be a bogus event. It's not going to happen. It's just going to give us the unique link to join the meeting. So there's group 1. That's the title of the group, and that's going to be the title of my event. And I got to go to more options. Okay, none of this stuff really matters. Well, that's not true. One thing matters, generating the unique link. But this other stuff doesn't matter. Don't invite attendees. It doesn't matter the date and time. Just make sure that you don't have anything else scheduled during that time. Just put it somewhere like, midnight to 1 a.m. or whatever. We're not going to have it repeat. We're not going to have a room or location. We are going to go to Add Online Meeting, Teams Meeting. And then remind me, unless you want your phone blowing up at 1 in the morning, say never. I don't want a notification. This isn't a real event. After I do that, name of the group, unique time, Teams meeting, don't remind me, save. There's the group 1 event posted at 1:30 in the morning for tomorrow. Now what do? I'm going to click on it. You can double click or you can click once and then you have to go to edit. And then we got to go back to more options. If you just double click, it'll open the big window up immediately. And there's our unique link. Okay, so even if I just hover over, yeah, see how many alphanumeric things are in there? That's a unique link to join that particular meeting. It's what you would get if someone emailed you an invite to a meeting. It'd be a unique link to that meeting. And this is going to be a unique link to the meeting for group 1, not the general meeting. So I'm going to click in this text box here, and I'm just going to Control All or right click and select all. And then I'm going to Control C or right click and copy the link. I don't care about anything else, just the link. Now we go back to our Teams. Here's group 1. I go to my posts stream and I'm going to Control V or right click and paste our unique link, and we're going to post it. Now when students go, they're originally in the general channel, and you say time to go to breakout rooms, people go to group 1. Those people going to group 1 can click on the group 1 channel, and they will have this link here. And now we'll show you why we titled our unique event Group 1, because when I start this meeting with this button, which is the same as clicking the Meet button over there. Shut off my microphone in this. Join now. Once we join it, the title of our event that we made in the calendar is going to be the title of this meeting, and which makes it easy to keep track of what meeting room you're in when you're going around to different breakout rooms. So look, it's group 1 right there. And then we can go back to the general meeting, because normally we would already be in the general meeting, right? That's where we would start our class. So let me just meet in the general meeting. Mic off, join. And as soon as that meeting starts, we're going to be put on hold in group 1, and we'll be live in the general channel. And if you don't have your meetings pop in these pop-out windows, it's because I went to the global settings right here and checked the new meets experience box, turn on new meeting experiences or whatever. Okay, so that gives you a little more options, which I would recommend checking that box if you're using Teams. So now we're in the general meeting, right? There's also a meeting going on in group 1, but I'm not in it right now. I'm on hold in it. So there's group 1, I'm on hold. I'm live in the general meeting right here. And by the way, some of the other stuff, if you check new meeting experiences, it puts our menu up here, and I have additional options for displaying stuff and yada, yada, yada. Okay, so we're in the general meeting. I want to go back to group 1. It's easy to find because I've titled my event group 1, the name of the group. Let's resume that call. And now I'm going to be back live in the group 1 meeting, where I can see students, discuss students, share my video and my microphone so that they can hear me and talk to me. And so now I'm back in the group 1 meeting. If we look back at our general meeting, I should be on hold. Okay, and there we are. So that unique link we posted into the posts stream functions exactly the same as the meeting button, except the students aren't blocked from using it. So say this happens, as you know, they're communicating, you're going to get probably a lot of posts in this post section, right? And then after a lot of stuff has been posted, what's going to happen to that unique link that we made? It's going to get buried. It's going to be up there at the top. So the student's going to be like, where'd the link go? And you just have to say, scroll, it's where it was. Scroll up back to the top. And if that's too difficult for them, then every now and then you can go in, scroll up to the top, or just go back to your calendar, right, where you made the original unique link. But you could go in right here and just click see more. I could copy all that. Hey, copy. I just want to highlight it. Okay, Control C copy. We have a bunch of stuff in the post stream now, so it's kind of hard for people to find it. So I just do it again. Control V paste, post. And that's going to be the same link, but it is the unique link to join this particular group called Group 1. So I can always test it and see if I've labeled my event properly, i.e. the same name as the group, then I'm going to be able to see it titled as such. So for each of these other ones, I would make a new unique link. So maybe I want one for my labs group, where students might go to discuss their lab work if they choose to do that on a certain day. So I'm back in Outlook. The calendar in Outlook, and I'm going to pick a different time of day. I'm not going to go back into this same group 1. I'm going to go to this one. What's the name of this group? Labs. So I'll title my event Labs. More options. Doing the same stuff. It's at a unique time. We don't want it as part of anything else because it's a unique link, a unique event. Repeat never. Online meeting. Teams. Remind me, please don't. And then we save. We don't have the link in there yet. We got to save it. Then Outlook will generate the unique link. So we go back into Labs. I think everybody's probably getting the point by now. Double click on it, excuse me, or go to Edit and More Options. And then we have our link in here in this text box. Click and then right click and select all, or Control A. Right click and copy, or Control C. Back to our team. And we only have to do this once. Right? Once we do it, once we have it set up for our channels, our groups, never have to do it again. So now we post. And now here's our unique link. Always test it out. Let's make sure when we start this meeting, it says labs at the top of my meeting window, because if I have a bunch of different groups I'm jumping around to, I want to be able to quickly see which group I'm in a call with, which group I'm joining, which group I'm leaving. So having that title up there for the event, identical to the group name, is nice. There's labs, and if we go to our group 1 and join, then we will see group 1 that will be present in, and then on hold in labs, etc. Okay, so that's the way to do it, so that the students don't have to rely on this meet button. You just put in this unique link. Really, this is hopefully just for a month, right, until we get real breakout rooms, but anyway, that's what I got. Hope that's helpful. Adios, everybody.